Hey there everybody, and welcome to the channel. I'm your host, Pubo and in today's video, I'll be breaking into the top 5 outdated vehicles in Grand Theft Auto Online. There are a lot of cars in the game that at one point were incredibly powerful, but after years and years of power creep, they are no longer the same statue they used to be. The perfect example, and the vehicle in the 5th place slot, is the Ruiner 2000 compared to the Deluxo. The Ruiner 2000 is one of the most expensive vehicles in the game. It is still more expensive than the Deluxo, coming in at a price tag of a whopping $4.3 million compared to the Deluxo's $3.5 million. Now, what are the strengths of the Ruiner compared to the Deluxo? I gotta be real, there aren't actually any. When the Ruiner was first introduced into the game, the Deluxo didn't exist, nor did any flying vehicle exist. So this car having its little jump and then being able to parachute, and I mean the parachute's actually pretty solid. You can jump off of Mount Chiliad and make it across the entire map if you wanted to, which is pretty sweet, but it's not very fast. You only go like 30 miles an hour. It takes a very long time to make it from point A to point B. The parachute is more of a gimmick that'll just kind of let you get somewhere if you really need to jump over a fence or something like that. The missiles, though, are very strong. They are the same missiles the Deluxo carries. Unfortunately, you only get 8 of them because, yeah, again, kind of power crept. So, the Ruiner, it's not a bad vehicle by any means, but the fact that it cost $4.3 million, the fact that it doesn't fly, not only does the Deluxo drive faster on land, have better handling on land than the Ruiner, but then it can also fly, and fly faster and infinitely, plus it can hold more missiles that have the same homing capabilities. It makes you wonder why you would ever think about buying the Ruiner, especially because you can't even store the vehicle in your own garage where you can with the Deluxo. So, yeah, the Ruiner 2000 is by far one of the most outdated vehicles in the game. At a certain point, it was amazing, and I mean, everybody wanted to own the Ruiner, but nowadays, it's basically just a steaming pile of burnt money that you wasted on it. In 4th place, we have the Stromberg. Now, the Stromberg is a really good car. Not only is it decently fast, it's a sports classics, it does carry the same missiles that the Deluxo has, also with incredibly good homing capabilities. It also is able to go underwater. As you can see, we've got our little submersible mode here. The problem is that the Toreador beats this car in, once again, just like the Ruiner, in every single way. First of all, the Toreador carries a speed boost. The Stromberg does not. So the Toreador is faster. They are both sports classics, which kind of defeats the purpose of the Stromberg being a sports classic. So you get the speed boost, you are in the same class of vehicle. As well, you carry the same missiles the Stromberg does, but you have an unlimited amount of them, which is basically just a free win. When it comes to missile survivability, the Toreador can survive up to 6 homing missiles, where the Stromberg can only survive up to 3, which is literally double. So what is the advantage the Stromberg has? Well, there actually isn't one. I guess the only real advantage is that the Stromberg is a cheaper vehicle, because it is. But, I mean, who cares about cheapness when the Toreador literally has every other advantage over it? It carries the speed boost, it has unlimited homing missiles that are just as good, and it can survive more missiles. Oh, and I should also point out that you can use the speed boost of this vehicle underwater as well, meaning that not only can you go on land faster, but you can also go in the water faster than the Stromberg. Yeah, Toreador is just a flat dub. And unfortunately, while the Stromberg is a really good vehicle, the Toreador just gets a free win. The only thing I would say that normally the Stromberg has over a lot of vehicles is the machine guns, but the Toreador actually has just as deadly machine guns as the Stromberg. You're going to see here that these machine guns blow up a car very quickly. I mean, we didn't get many hits on that car for where we were, but if you actually connect hits with the machine gun, let me try again here. Hello, good sir. But yeah, you can see just how fast these cars blow up when you use the machine gun. The Stromberg and the Toreador both carry the same machine guns as well. It's honestly kind of sad that Rockstar didn't give the Stromberg a single advantage, but yeah, welcome to GTA. In third place, we have the Rocket Voltic. The Rocket Voltic is a vehicle that is literally just a rocket. There's nothing else on it. It has no missile survivability. It has no anything, no weapons. I mean, I guess you can throw a sticky bomb out of it if you count that a weapon. But yeah, really the only thing the Rocket Voltic has is a speed boost. And by the way, this car still is not even that fast compared to some of the faster supercars in the game. It's honestly pretty sad when you think about it. The vehicle that I am calling much better than this is the Scramjet, because the whole point of the Rocket Voltic is to have that speed boost, and the Scramjet has just a much better speed boost. In fact, the Scramjet has the longest speed boost out of all the rocket vehicles in the game. Now, when it comes to price tag comparison, the Rocket Voltic is $2.88 million when you get the trade price. Scramjet is around 3.4, so it is a bit more expensive, but first of all, the Scramjet does have missiles, which is great. It also has a jump, which means you can launch in the air if you want. And I mean, just watch how much longer the Scramjet's rocket boost lasts. It's way longer, probably double. So because of that, the Scramjet not only has the fun factor going for it, but as well, it's much faster. It's also in the Supers class. It has missiles. It doesn't have any missile survivability, but I mean, who cares when you can do this, right? So I just find that the Rocket Voltic is completely outdated when it comes to the Scramjet. Now, to be fair, the Rocket Voltic is actually outdated when it comes to literally every rocket boost car. The Vigilante beats it. Same for the Toreador. I mean, really, there's no point to ever get a Rocket Voltic when you have your access to other boosting vehicles, because every other one basically carries weapons, and as well, they're just better. I mean, it's just dumb. Rockstar really kind of screwed the pooch when it came to the Rocket Voltic, but hey, at least we got some other really fun ones in the process. Oh yeah, and I should also point out that once again, you cannot store the Rocket Voltic in your garage, which is just another big fat L. In second place, we have all the armored variant cars, specifically the ones in front of me. We've got the Paragon armored, we got the XLS, we got all the baller variants, which we can just shoot at. You can see the nice thing about all the armored variant cars in the game is that they have semi-bulletproof glass, which is really nice. So you can't ever, like, you know, shoot somebody in the face unless you pull out a minigun, because that'll bust right through the glass. As well, all the armored variant vehicles can survive a single explosion, as you can see, which is pretty dang nice as well. Now, if you throw one more explosion, yeah, they're not going to be doing very well, but at least they can survive one. Until we turn around and take a look at this vehicle. This is just one of many Amani Tech cars in the game. Thought I was losing my mind, but the windows are just a bit bugged. As you can see, there's no hit skin from when I actually shoot the glass, but you will notice that it still takes quite a bit of shells before we can actually puncture through the glass itself, as all Amani Tech vehicles carry semi-bulletproof glass. Now, when it comes to the Champion, it can survive 12 homing missiles, which is 6 times more than the missiles that all the other armored variants we showcased can survive. As well, all Amani Tech vehicles can put on homing lock-on jammers, making it impossible to lock any homing missile on a vehicle like the Champion or the Greenwood or any Amani Tech vehicle, which is just another flat dub for these cars. I mean, overall, Amani Tech vehicles just have every advantage over their armored variants. Now, I guess the only disadvantage is that the price tag is very expensive. Not only do you need to own an agency for an Amani Tech vehicle, but then you need to own the workshop in the agency. It's going to cost you a lot of money to upgrade it. So it does have its fair share of downsides on price, but once you get away the price factor, there is literally no advantage for an armored vehicle compared to the Champion or any other in its class of Amani Tech vehicles. And in first place, we have the Oppressor. Now, there are a lot of people out there that are probably going to argue in the comments and say the Oppressor's still a really good vehicle. And I agree, the Oppressor is a really good bike. But it still is just pretty obsolete when you compare it to the Oppressor Mark II. Let's talk about why that is. First of all, the Oppressor cannot fly infinitely. Now, technically, I guess it can, as long as you keep it in the air and then you, like, bump the ground really lightly like this and you keep going up, but you're still touching the ground to get that boost back. And while you do go very fast for a few short seconds with that boost, it doesn't give you an infinite amount of range. You can't go up in the air forever, and I mean, that is a big downside. Previously, the Oppressor used to have the flying bike glitch, but unfortunately Rockstar patched that. So when it comes to modes of transportation, especially with the handbrake glitch, when it comes to the Oppressor Mark II, the Mark II just kind of wins. First of all, the Mark II does carry a speed boost, and as you'll notice right now, just normally flying while holding down my gas, I'm going 108 miles per hour. But if I hold down my handbrake, you're going to watch these little fins on the side of my Oppressor go in. And when you do that, your Oppressor now flies at 130 miles per hour in the air, which is way faster than the Oppressor ever goes. I mean, the Mark II is literally just way faster in air. Even on land, the Oppressor can fly at, what, 130 as well? Yeah, 129 miles per hour. So when it comes to speed, the Oppressor Mark II is just faster in most cases because it flies way faster. As well, it has flares, which is great. It means that you can evade missiles fired at you, and it carries the same missiles that the Oppressor carries. So what is the advantage the Oppressor has? Well, there is one single advantage that I can come up with, and that is spawn time. You can only spawn the Oppressor Mark II once every 5 minutes. You can spawn the Oppressor normally every time you want to. If it gets blown up, you can instantly recall it and spawn it right through your interaction menu in your motorcycle club. Now, there is a workaround for that with the Oppressor Mark II, and that is just buy like 2 or even 3 of them, but that can get very, very expensive. So yeah, I mean, it is a workaround, but I wouldn't necessarily suggest to do it. For the most part, I mean, it's pretty hard to have your Oppressor blown up once every 5 minutes as it is, because it's such a useful vehicle. But yeah, I personally believe that just the Oppressor Mark II kind of makes the normal Oppressor irrelevant with everything that it carries and everything that it can do nowadays in GTA. So hopefully you enjoyed today's video. Obviously, if you'd like to see more like it, please consider smashing that subscribe button down below. Let me know if you agree or disagree. I know that there obviously will be a lot of opinions out there in the comments, but I have a feeling that this last one specifically will have the most opinions. But yeah, let me know. Other than that, I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.